Happy Sunday, everyone. Hey, welcome back to another powerful episode of Extraordinary Women, where we highlight the magic, the mystery, and the miracles happening in our everyday lives. Today, we're diving into a topic that so many women in our community, just people, okay, they ask about this. What are synchronicities? Repeated number patterns. What do they represent? Why do we keep seeing 11, 222, 444, or the same signs over and over again? What does it mean when the universe seems like it's tapping us on the shoulder? And today I got my special guest, our regular, schmegular sister Sophia.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, she's here to break it down for us too, as well, what she feels synchronicities are. Um, the first question I want to ask you is this: synchronicities, is it a coincidence or is it purpose? Is it, do we see these things purposely or is it a coincidence?
Yes, and yes. It's a coincidence because most people are not intuitively aware enough to recognize what it really means. So for when we see something that happens unexpectedly and in sync with something that is positive, we tend to call it a coincidence. Oh, it's a coincidence that I ran into this person right at the time that I had a flat tire and they jumped out and helped me change it. We look at those as coincidences, but they are synchronicities, and synchronicities usually come in when we are energetically, spiritually aligned with our highest and best good. Um, Most people are familiar with numbers, seeing numbers over and over and over again. And they see those numbers, and most people immediately say, oh, those are angel numbers, they're my lucky numbers, I'm getting a message, and they are absolutely right. And I may as well start off with this synchronicity that I've been experiencing this last month, because it has
Let's
to
hear
do
it.
with numbers. Now, I moved into my new place where I'm staying now. I didn't officially move in till January 3rd, but I was staying here or I'm sorry, the 5th, but I
Mhm.
started staying here on the 2nd, January 2nd, which was the day after New Year's. So it's the first night that I stayed here. And when I woke up the next morning, I have a little weather clock. It has the outdoor, indoor temperature, and the clock on it, and it tells me whether the freezing, all those things. But it's a little digital display clock.
Mhm.
And when I woke up early that Saturday morning, which was the 3rd, I happened to wake up, and I woke up. It was still dark, but it was cold because my current roommate likes to keep the house cold at night. Well, back where you guys are, this was probably warm, but she keeps the house around 61 degrees at night. But it had been getting down into the 30s outside, so the house was cold. And I woke up, and I have a little space heater that I use to keep my room a little warmer, and I have my electric blanket. Anyway, I woke up, and I don't remember exactly what time it was, but I happened to look up because that's at night the display shows on the ceiling. And as the temperature was showing in my room, it said 666. So I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. It's been happening every morning ever since. At
Wow.
some point when I wake up in the morning, and it's usually still dark, somewhere between 5:30 and 6:30, I look up at some point in time, I wake up and look up at the clock, and the temperature in the room is 66.6
Oh, wow.
every
Yeah.
single day, including today.
Wow.
And the first 2 or 3 times, I didn't really pay much attention to it, but after like the third or fourth day, it's like, well, that's interesting. Then every morning at some point it would hit that temperature, and it seemed to sit at that temperature longer than it did at other points. Other temperatures would stay for maybe a 2 or 3 minutes or whatever. It would sit at 666 anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes.
Wow.
And so then as I started paying attention to it, it's like, well, what does that mean? I know the number six, I'm into numerology, and so are you. The number six is about balance and harmony and things coming together. in a synchronicity.
It's about
Uh,
harmony. Yeah.
yeah, but then I thought, I said, okay,
It's the
every,
mommy number of the charts.
huh?
It's the mommy number of the chart. It's the mother number. It has a mothering nature. Sometimes
Yeah,
when you see 666, it's almost as the universe is telling you to give yourself a little bit more self-care.
it wasn't. I actually, after about 2 weeks, I actually decided, let me look this up because I have a couple of books on angel numbers, gives you the
Hmm.
meanings. I can do readings on numbers all the way up to 1,000, actually more than that.
Yeah.
So I decided to look up 666. And what it said was the message is that spirit and the angels surround you and are looking after you.
It's the
And it
mommy
made
number.
perfectly good sense. And I thought, and this is the temperature in my room, not outside or not the time or anything. It's the temperature of my room. And like I said, it's been happening every morning, including this morning. Um, and I've gotten to the point now where when I look up and see it on the ceiling, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's still here. It's still here. But some people in some religions have been taught that 666 is the number of Satan. It's the
Yes, they
devil's
have.
number.
Yeah.
But I want to get people to understand that that's not true. And what if that information was passed on by the powers that be to keep you under control and to keep you from recognizing that you are being divinely guided, blessed, and supported? Because that might give you a little power or a little influence to be a little more independent in your thinking and your behavior, as opposed to being in fear of one of the most powerful numbers in numerology. 333 666 999 are three of the most powerful numbers you can see that give you special information, special support from the universe. And the sixes being the number of balance and harmony and support and stability, are particularly important for me because I was coming out of a situation where my life had been destabilized for the
Hmm.
last 7 or 8 months. And so to have this happen
Hmm. I'm still
and
here,
to
sis.
have that message on my ceiling every day as I wake up to greet the day has been tremendously comforting and let me know. And like I said, the message is spirit and the angels are here to support you, to look after you and protect you. So there's no need to worry. And it was just so powerful. And as this last month has gone by, I have felt that
Yeah.
support. I've seen the changes and I've felt the energetic shifts that have happened as we are in this new year of 2026. So I just, when you mentioned you wanted to do synchronicities, I'm like, well, what synchronicities? Because I hadn't really thought of about anything. And it was right at that time when I started to notice these numbers on the ceiling. And also, one of the other things that I've noticed is when I wake up and look at the clock, even with the other numbers of the temperature outside or the actual time, very often when I add them up, they'll equal 3, 6, or 9.
Oh,
So,
wow. Yeah.
yeah, so
Those numbers
that just
have
kind of
really
puts
some type of
all of
significance
that
to
together.
you.
So I'm in a place where this is a positive, supportive environment for me to stabilize and to get things moving forward. So there's been a lot of good stuff happening in the last month.
All right. Guys, if you want to call in and ask about your personal numbers that you've been seeing, give us a call at 347-620-6771. Again, 347-620-6771. Now, me personally, I know that when I started my journey and just wanting to just, how can I say, not be a better person, but just be who I was put on earth to be,
Hmm.
I started to see a lot of synchronicities. And it was mind blowing because at first I would ignore them. Like, what the heck? Oh, okay, it's 333, whatever. And then I really started to pay attention to it. And I'm like, why am I keep seeing this number over and over again? So I started like researching the numbers and things like that. What does this mean? And on Google, it always gives you that little general, oh, it just means your angel guys are like following you and it's letting you know that you're making. I said, no, I need more. I
Yeah,
need more.
let's go deeper.
Yeah. So, but one thing that was so beautiful about this situation is once I realized what the numbers were, what I was thinking at the time what I was doing at the time, I started to make the correlation. And I'm like, oh, now I understand. Like, for instance, 1111, I would see that all the time. And I'm like, what is the significance of this 1111 to me? It, and I swear to you, anytime when I talk to like a guy on the phone, and I have no business talking to
Mhm.
him, 1111 will show up in some form or way. Either he will text me at 1111, or I'll look at the phone and it will be 1111. And what that's significant to me personally, because that just tells me to like aim higher, straight up,
Wow.
aim higher. When I see 123 with people and I'm like talking with people, the universe is telling me to take my time. Baby steps. One, two, three. Baby steps with this person.
Wow.
Yeah. Slow down with them. You don't, get to really know that person. So I started to really look at the numbers and I'm like, yo, this is serious. Like, this is
Serious. Yeah,
serious.
and numbers are serious. People really need to
Yeah.
take them.
One thing people have to understand is this: the universe, God, whoever you feel God is, okay? They're not going to just come down to the earth and start talking to you like how we're talking right now. All right. But there are certain things that will be given to you in the form of numbers, nature, things of that, that will help guide us to figure out who we are in this world, and also help guide us as to where we should go in this world as well. And numbers are our guide. The numbers never lie. That's what people don't
Absolutely.
understand. Yeah. So what do you think? Do you know anything about like 1111, 222, 444? Because those are the major numbers that a lot of people see. Now, I already told you my 1111 story. What do you think like
Right.
222, 444, these things are meaning?
Well, I'm just bringing up my book because I kind of figured that question was going to come up, and I thought I would
Yeah.
just bring it up so I could
Yeah.
have a
You know
reference.
what? Matter of fact, instead of you bringing up the book, well, you can bring up the book, but instead of you answering that question, let's because I know the numbers too, right? Let's talk
Yeah.
about each number. Let's break
Okay.
down the numbers. Yeah. So, for instance, I already told you about my 1111. I really do think that 1111 is an angel number, and it is your guide telling you to watch out or elevate or pay attention. Okay. I do.
Yeah, they all have reference because they go I'm trying to get they have to do with the level that you are surrounded with, like, are supported by. Like, the numbers that start with ones generally are about spirit directly being there for you in a way that maybe it hasn't been. So seeing a 111 could be an issue where you're actually seeing spirit itself is there guiding you. Listen to the intuitive guidance that you're receiving. The number fours, the four sequence generally talks about the angels. The three series generally talks about the ascended masters. And those are the ones that, like Jesus is an ascended master, Mother Mary. Those are the ones that show up when you're seeing threes. When you're seeing twos, it can mean all the angels or all the what do you call it, spiritual beings are there for you. So it's significant, and the variations of the numbers as we go along um, also has significance. But I wanted to get back to the ones I
Yeah,
want, because I kind of wanted to just read it to you.
yeah, let's go down the line. Let's first focus on one, because in numerology, one is a leadership number. Okay. It's
Right,
about leadership, it's about alignment, and it's also about new beginnings. Okay.
right,
For instance, we're all in a universal 1 year. So
right.
we're going to see after the spring, we're going to see a lot of leadership and alignment. And we're also going to see a lot of change with a lot of humans. Also, a lot of people this year are beginning new things. I've seen so many people tell me, oh, I began a new job. I left an old job. I'm doing this now. I'm creating this. So I'm like, yo, that's what's up. That's what you're supposed to do. They have that push now to do it in 2026. So what are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
that is the number one is about new beginnings, new
Yeah.
starts, starting over. And because of where we are with this ascension energy, and I know a lot of people kind of scoff at that, but you better pay attention because that's what's behind, that's what's spiritually driving all that we are going through. Um, this is a significant 1 year.
Yeah.
2025 was a 9 year, and it was about things ending, a
Ending.
lot of stuff coming to a close, and things falling apart and breaking down, making space. You could
Mm,
almost say it was like the demolition year,
right.
breaking down and making space for the new to begin. And 2026, I mean, I literally felt it. I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned on the last show or whatever, but I literally felt it when I woke up on the first,
Mm-hmm.
um, that something had shifted. And by the second, I was absolutely clear that something had changed, that my energy, my life was changing, and it felt strangely calm at the same time, as though I was standing on the edge of a cliff about to jump off, which turns
Yeah.
out kind of true. But I had this distinct feeling of being pushed spiritually, energetically forward and kind of a shove. And it was like being shoved through a door. And, when you get pushed, you kind of stumble a little bit and then you turn around to try to recover. And as I felt myself being shoved through this hallway, this tunnel, this doorway, or whatever, when I went to turn around to grab the door, there was no door. There was
What?
only wall. Energetically, I felt like I had been pushed through something and just kind of pushed out. And then I turn around and I could feel that there's no going back because there's no door. It's just a wall. It's like, what the hell just happened? And
Right.
from that point on, I've only been moving forward, not looking back. And even some of the memory of what has happened over the last year has faded to the point where I don't see it clearly. I don't feel the same details, and the heaviness and the oppressiveness of everything that happened last year is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
And it's a very light new energy and new intuitions coming through, new ideas, new projects, new offers and opportunities. And it's definitely a new beginning for me. And I belong to a group called Mastering Alchemy, and I've been studying with them 6 or 7 years. I'm one of the partners and kind of one of the teachers for them now as well. We had our first group meeting of the year Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised to hear it was about maybe 10 of us in the meeting, and I was really surprised to hear our this common thread through all of us saying about how things have shifted. We feel different. And in some ways, it's like we're moving forward. We don't know where, or we don't know the details yet. It's like we're being introduced and moved along a new way. We're being given the guidance as we need it and as we move forward, which is, again, the synchronicities, being what you need showing up when you need it, as the
Right.
universe takes care of you as you move forward. So if any of you are feeling that kind of like, I don't know what just happened, I'm starting new, and things that I thought were going to be there for me aren't. People leaving, new people coming in, job changes, moving, getting tired of nonsense and finally telling folks to to hit the road, or just deciding I'm not dealing with that no more and being done with it, but not being emotionally overwhelmed by the being done with. It's just like, I'm just done. And
Yeah.
having that severing sensation of disconnecting from what was, and having a sense of comfort and no fear as you move forward to what's next. You may not know exactly what that means, but it's not feeling, it may be still chaotic and confusing because our our world's a little crazy right now. But at the same time, there's this sense of, I'm going to be okay.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted to say. A lot of people, when they see these numbers, sometimes they get a little afraid, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? You know, like I keep seeing it. They get so scared because they're thinking about their religion. They're thinking about this is, oh, this is satanic, this is demonic, whatever. And it really isn't. It's there to really guide you, to help you. It's not a hindrance. It's for your betterment, you know.
When you think
So
about something like that and think about, oh, this is demonic, I want you to just ask yourself,
why
where
was
did I
it
get that
created?
idea from? Ask yourself, where did I get that idea from?
Just
And
like how we
then,
were talking about 666, right? For instance.
yeah, and that's a traditional number. I remember as a kid, because I grew up in the Baptist church, talking about the 666 was the number of the devil.
Yeah,
And
but
yet,
six is what?
when I
Six,
started studying,
you know what 666 is?
that's the number I told you, that the one that I have, where the 666 for me was spirit and the angels are here to help you, to take care of you.
And I
Um,
also tell people what it is. That like, okay, so 666 is 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons, which make up our melanin. So anytime somebody get all crazy about 666,
well, what
I mean, what,
666
six
says in my
electrons,
book
six
is,
protons, and
it
six
says it's
neutrons?
time for focus on spirit to balance and heal your life. Tell heaven about any fears you have concerning material supply. Be open to receiving help and love from both humans and the angels. Now
Yeah,
that's the
666 is a
666
mother.
that I've
I'm
been
telling
seeing,
you.
and that's what I'm feeling that so strongly.
Six is I call it the mother number. It was one of
Yeah,
those numbers that I had a hard time remembering when I started, delving into numerology. But it's a mother number. It's a nurturing number. And
yes, it
sometimes
is.
when I do, like when I'm speaking with some of my clients, I do tell them, they tell me they see 666 all the time, whatever. I also tell them, depending on where they are in life, take time to nurture yourself a little bit more. Take
Mhm,
time
mhm.
to just love on yourself a little bit more, because
And
and
that's
don't be
bringing
so
that
hard on
balance and
yourself.
harmony in.
Yeah, because that's what you need right now.
Mhm.
For instance, when I have some of my clients, it's like depending on how where they are in life, okay? I know that 111 for either they need to be in alignment with themselves, get in alignment, or they need to step into a leadership role that they don't want to get into. And
Exactly.
yeah. And sometimes those numbers is telling you, no, you better lead. No, you best to lead,
And I'll tell you what my numbers book says about the 111. It says an energetic gateway has opened for you, rapidly manifesting your thoughts into reality. Choose your thoughts wisely at this time, ensuring that they match your desires. Don't put any energy into thinking about fear at all. Otherwise, you'll manifest them too.
Exactly.
So,
Let's go into for time's sake, because I know you are short tonight. Let's go into 222, because
okay.
222 in numerology is all about partnership, balance, and just and actually love. Two is the love number. Okay.
Yep.
So sometimes with my clients, when I tell, when they see 222, I'm like, who you in love with? Or do you want to be partnered
Uh,
up? You know,
it is
uh,
about partnering and coming together.
and also with business too, partner
Yes,
coming
yes.
together. Think, hey Mona, how you doing, girl? And yeah, so yeah, give me your thoughts on that one.
Okay, the interpretation on this side is have faith. Everything's going to be all right. And don't worry about anything, as the situation is resolving itself beautifully for everyone involved. It's about community and coming together, not only with other people, but with your own divine self.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yes.
we can be at odds with ourselves,
Mhm.
feeling that we don't trust ourselves. Maybe we've been through
Right.
some trauma, or having that imposter syndrome feeling of I'm not really who I want to be, and maybe somebody will find out I'm not who they think I am, or what, all of that, which is separation, division, out of unity, not being in union with your own divine self. So
Correct.
the clues can be a clue for you to start to come together and unify with the divine presence within, and start to trust your spirit, trust your soul, because that's where your divine guidance always comes from.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Again, if you want to call in, give us a call 347-620-6771, 347-620-6771. So another number that we should look at is 333. Okay. I remember I saw 333 all the time. And actually 333 is like a really significant number because when I was overweight, that was the number that I hit 333. I was like, no, but okay. 333 could signify in numerology creativity and divine support. Let
Right,
me tell you, 333 also represents the family unit, mother,
right,
father, and child. Okay,
right. That Trinity. Yeah.
right, the Trinity. So, what does your angel book say about 333?
It says, you've come together with the ascended masters, Jesus, Mother Mary, Moses, all of those divine beings that are have had human lives. You know, we know the angels are spiritual beings, and they basically have never had human life. They are here to help us. They work with us as human, work with humanity, but they have never had physical lives on the planet, whereas ascended masters like Jesus and Mother Mary and Moses and those beings have walked the planet at some point in time, but they are highly evolved spiritual beings who may no longer be here. They might be, but in fact, I've been told that several of them are back now because of where we are. But the ascended masters are here, and because they know what it's like to be human, they have a much greater understanding of what we are going through. And they're here working with us day and night, especially now, on many, many levels. They may come to you in dreams. They may come to you. Some people talk to them. I mean, we've got so many people channeling everybody on the planet these days. That's one of the reasons why those souls who, especially the ones that were here during the last 25,000 year cycle, have come back to help us make it through this transition this time, because we didn't make it last time. But they're very real and very powerful. We sometimes refer to them as our guides. You
Yeah,
know, so when you are talking, or not talking, but listening to a webinar or a channel video on YouTube or something, and the people are talking about their guides, they're ascended masters that are here to help us. People have heard of Saint Germain, El Moria. There's a number of them, and some of them are just evading me right now. But
mhm,
they're around to help us, and they may come to you in dreams. They may come to you through your thoughts, in any number of ways. But when you see 333, think of
yeah.
the triangle and think of the Trinity. It represents stability.
That's where we're going to go into next. I'm sorry, y'all. If you see me cut my camera off, just I'm drinking water. Yeah. Okay. Another thing where I tell my clients about the 333 is, of course, it's the most creative number on the charts. And
Hmm.
when you see that, if you are creating something, it's your permission. It gives you permission to create whatever it is you want to create, whether it's writing a book, okay, whether it's you want to create a new life for yourself, go back to school and create a new life for yourself, whether you want to start a family, whatever it is, just know that you have divine support to do so. It's giving you
Hmm.
that permission to move forward. Now let's go into 444. Now 444 in numerology is all about stability. You think about the four like a square. It's a four, has four corners and it's a stable foundation.
Right.
444 is also about protection. Now, in my practice, sometimes when my clients ask me questions about 444, I always tell them, get your affairs in order. That's what it's really telling you, to stabilize yourself, get yourself in
Stabilize.
order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when we was in a 4 year, I remember America collectively had to get itself in order. If you go all the way back. So 4 is about stability, getting yourself stable, and people that like fours don't like to be unstable. I know Beyonce and Jay-Z, I don't like to name drop them, but I remember they just love that number, 444. That's, they always talk about that number. They were born on the fourth because That number is very, very significant. But
Mhm.
what does your book say about the four?
That thousands of angels are surrounding you at the moment, loving you and supporting you as you're working on whatever you're trying to do to bring that stability and build that foundation in your life. And you have a very strong, clear connection with the angels too, especially whenever, usually that number will show up when you're, like you said, trying to build something or create a stability, a foundation in your personal life, your career, whatever.
Mhm.
And you get a lot of support from angels during that time as they try to hold and balance the spiritual realm while you're working on the physical side. It says, do not fear, all is well, just trust and keep building, keep constructing, keep using that number four, like the legs of a table. A three-legged table is stable, but it also, if you get between two legs, it can tip over. But if you got a table with four legs, you just about can't tip that table over. You think about the cube. The cube is a sacred geometry shape, just like the triangle is a sacred geometry shape, and
Mhm.
they're very stable. The cube tends to it's got more than, well, the cube has what is it, six sides, but it still creates a box, a place for you to work from, and it's got the four corners
Yep, four
and
corners.
the four the planes that you deal with. So just think of the fours as foundations, stability, being able to build within this sacred geometry space and having that protection because you are surrounded by angels.
Exactly. Let's get into 555. Now, in numerology, 555 is the freedom number. Okay. Five is the number in the middle of the chart, y'all. The number in the middle of the chart is all about you can get with this or you can get with that. All right. It's a balanced number, actually. Okay. Five is a balanced number. And a lot of people who were born under that five number, people go to them all the time for advice. Like, what do you think? I was born under the five number, so I know. Okay, a lot of people always come to me for advice because they know I'm not going to be one sided with things. I'll let
Mhm.
you know what if you did that shit. I'll let you know. Okay, but five is also about making a change. So
Yes,
sometimes,
it is.
yeah, when some of my peoples come to me and they ask me about the five, I'm like, yo, you need to make a change. Okay. You need to change your life. You need to make a change. You need freedom from something, you need to be free from something. So what does your book say about the five?
It says, as we talked about the changes, it says major changes and significant transformations are here for you, an opportunity for you to break out of maybe some situation that was dramatic or chaotic or traumatic. You have
Mhm.
an opportunity to break out of the chrysalis and uncover the amazing life you truly desire. Whenever I would come up, when I read tarot and I come up with a five card, it's always about something going from a difficult time of stress and chaos and confusion into a time where you rise above the situation so you can see the way forward. And by taking the initiative and moving forward, you always find your solution. You find your way forward. Like one of the cards, the five of wands or five of fire, depending on which deck you're using,
Mhm.
always brings about the energy of rise above the drama, chaos, and confusion. Everybody's fighting and at each other around you, or maybe even at you. And so instead of joining the fight and fighting back with another stick, lay
Yeah.
down rise above it, try to find a higher point of view so you can see the solution, which will help you move forward. Even if the others stay in the drama and the chaos, you can move forward, see your way forward with much more ease and grace. This sets you free from the conflict and gives you the opportunity to do something better. And you will be changed, you will be transformed by the experience, but for the better. It's
Yeah.
always for the better. But it may be a little fiery and a little difficult and chaotic while you're in the five energy. So when you see three fives together, it can often represent a time for you to make major change get rid of that drama queen king that's in your life, or the job that's making you sick, or whatever it is. It's time. It's the universe saying, look, you've been playing around with this long enough. It's time for you to get busy and move forward. And sometimes it's the indication that the universe is getting ready to make a change for you because you've been dragging your feet. And
I was going
sometimes
to say
the
that.
universe, when the universe steps in because the change is necessary, it's going to be it can be a little tough. So better
Yeah.
for you to do it while you kind of can do it in your own pace. Because when that universe steps in and says, "Look, I'm tired of giving you hints and clues and sending you intuitive nudges. You gonna make this change because I'm burning down the house." You
It's
know?
true. I remember when but my little 555 change that I had, I was so afraid. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And the universe was taking stuff away from me. Like, I
Yep,
told you, boom,
yep,
boom, boom. You
yep,
didn't want to move. Oh, I'll move it
yep,
for you. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, no, but I didn't
yep.
realize it was setting me up for something better. Okay. It gave
But
me
it had to
ample
get you
amount.
out of where you were.
Right. It gave me ample amount of opportunity, ample amount of opportunity to make that change. I did not do it. So it stepped in and it did it for me. It was painful, but it was for my better ultimate good. All
You know,
right.
sometimes we pray for solutions and deliverance and
And
things
then
to
when you
be
get
fixed
it,
and over, and we pray and pray and pray, but we don't have the courage or the desire to take the initiative to make the
right.
changes, the little clues that come along the way that give you an opportunity to make changes, and you keep resisting it, or for whatever reason, fear or being stubborn, you keep resisting. But because the universe will answer your prayers, especially when it's for your highest and best good, and you're asking for freedom. Maybe you're in an abusive relationship and you just, you can't seem to find the courage. And then one day you get a call, he's in jail and the rent's not paid and you got to move like in 3 days. And it's like your life explodes and just blows up and you don't know what you're going to do. But you find the solution, you find your way out, and you end up in a situation where it's painful. You may be screaming and crying all the way, but in the long run, when you look back, it's like, this was the best thing that happened to me because I couldn't do it on my own. And
Yeah,
when the universe steps in and takes over, the job gets done. And sometimes it's just, it can be a little tough. Like I said,
it is. I
it can
remember
be
one of my clients, she was telling me that her husband used to beat her and stuff like that, right? And so, I just sat there and listened. I'm like, girl, you need to leave. I
tough.
can't leave. And then all of a sudden he passes away suddenly.
Wow.
Girl, you done got your wish,
Yes,
like
you got your
we
walking
got the
papers.
insurance money. So why you sad?
Wow. And he had insurance too.
Yeah, and
That,
he left you
that
the
was
insurance
really a blessing.
policy. Why you sad? She was like,
I'm telling you,
why you say that? Because
she
this is
was
what you wanted. This is what
she
you
was just
needed.
she was still hung up in the love thing. Sometimes that abusive
Oh my
relationships
goodness.
are like a drug.
It
They can
is.
be the insecurity, and the person who's being abused has been so traumatized that they lose all belief and confidence in themselves. They don't know what to do because they're so beaten down. But once they step out there, it doesn't take very long to regain that sense of self, especially if there's financial stability with it. And when you get out there, like
Correct.
you get in a situation where you end up in a homeless shelter, that takes a lot more rebuilding because you've got so much to repair. But if she
Mhm.
had insurance and, was able to financially take care of herself, that healing can happen fairly quickly. And it's
Right.
like, I
Yeah.
got money too, and I don't have to be scared all the time. Oh, okay.
Where us going on vacation? You taking me with you? Cause girl.
Exactly. Exactly. I remember,
There you
it's
go.
funny, you talk about something like that. My first mother-in-law, we
Yeah.
didn't, well, at least I didn't know it at the time, but my father-in-law, they were very religious, it's very dogmatically religious. We
Yeah.
didn't realize until way later that he was also emotionally and maybe not so much physically, but very emotionally abusive.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I mean, the family was kind of dysfunctional because his emotional abuse was so bad. He was a Bible toter, and everything he said was a quote from the Bible, and couldn't have a conversation until he was telling you where you were a sinner and needed to whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
he died, girl. He died, and I didn't see her for years.
Mm-hmm.
But when they were married, when I saw her last before this, while he was still alive, she wore dresses down between her knees and her ankles. I never saw her wear pants. She always wore her hair up or in like a little page. No makeup, no jewelry except a wedding band. We gave them his and her watches one Christmas. She never could wear the watch because he wouldn't allow it.
Oh
And she
wow.
was always buttoned up to her neck. And even at a picnic in the summertime, we were all at a family picnic at the park, she was in skirts. He died. I didn't see her till my daughter graduated from high school. She showed up wearing red and in a knee-length dress and high heels with her hair all done. And I went to my mother and I said, what happened? And she said, girl, when he died, she got the insurance money. First thing she did was bought a new car and went shopping. And then she and her sister took off and went to Europe for 3 weeks. And I thought, oh
Freedom.
my,
She
yeah,
got
she was
freedom.
free. He died and left her, from what I understand, because he worked, and everything. From
Yeah,
what I
left her that money.
understand, quite
Shoot.
a bit of money, quite a bit of money um, from
And she
his death.
got
But
freedom.
she got freedom and she went and started buying clothes and jewelry. And I almost didn't recognize her when she walked into the graduation
Yeah.
because I had never seen her wear anything other than brown, navy blue, black, and white.
That's why y'all, if y'all see that 5, it's so important. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, it's
You
something
better make
major.
a decision, or if you don't, the universe will. Okay.
And the universe will always do it. Sometimes it
It will
does it
do
in
it.
ways that are traumatic or to us because we're humans, but it always brings a higher and better outcome, even if we can't see that at the time.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So we already discussed 666 at
Yeah,
length at the beginning.
yeah,
So let's go to 777. Now, 777 is a very beautiful number to me. And a lot of
yes,
my clients who are born on the 7th or have that 777, they keep seeing 777. It's all about spiritual ascension. And even
yes.
people who were born on the sevens, like a 7 number, if they were born on the 7th, excuse me, y'all, they are so highly spiritual.
Mm,
They don't even recognize it. Most of them are so into their head. Some of them don't like to be around people because they
mm,
like to isolate, because they are always in their head talking to God.
mm-hmm.
Sevens are 7 is a very highly spiritual number. Okay.
Yes.
A lot of people think 7 is like the number of completion. It really isn't. Okay. Because they say, oh, God created the earth 7 days, 7 nights, this, that, and the third. 7 is not the complete number. It's actually it's just telling you to ascend higher
I
spiritually.
call it a continuation number.
It is a continuation number. Yes. But what does your book say about the 7?
It says, congratulations, you've listened well to your divine guidance.
Yes.
That's spiritual thing, and you've put that wisdom into fruitful action, which is why they seem to be lucky people who follow the energy of the 7. I mean, 7 is a number with the gamblers love. Even if
Oh,
you
they
go to
do. Lucky
Vegas,
7. Yeah.
777s are everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it also brings the energy of reaping the rewards of success, of being inspiring and helping others. So it says, keep up the good work. When I do readings and the 7s come up, I always tell people that the 7 is a number of a, a, uh, something completing and moving into the next phase. Like, say, for instance, if you're doing a career reading and the 7 comes up, it says it's time for you to leave the career path that you've been on or the position you're in. Either a promotion or a change of job is coming, but it's coming for something better, with
Mhm.
more money, with more satisfaction. It's a number of moving into the succeeding level of what you've been waiting for, praying for, working on. It's always a good sign, and it also can indicate you have many choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
More than just one way through this. So it's a very lucky number. And when you see 777 show up, it's like a clue from heaven to say, pay attention. You've been asking for a break, an
Yeah.
opening, an opportunity, some lucky situation to develop for you. Well, the time is now. So follow the divine guidance you're being given and move forward. It will take you to your desired outcome on one level or another, but it always represents something good, something next, where
Something
you need to
critical.
prepare for what's coming next.
Yep. And it may come like it may come at you fast and furious. It may feel like a miracle.
Yeah, and it
Like
can be
what?
it can be
It may feel
disrupting
like
and a
a
little
miracle.
disturbing. It can
Yeah.
make you feel a little like flipped on your head sometimes, depending on what situation is, because like I said, it has that energy of the divine intervention. And we've already talked about sometimes when the universe moves, it can really throw us for a loop because we're
Yeah.
stuck in our stuff and not paying attention. And the universe says, I'm tired of playing around with you. So here, let me just wipe the slate or fix it for you. So you have to move forward. And, and so you just kind of go with the flow because
Mhm.
it's going to be all right. This is you're covered, you're taken care of. Universe has got your back. You just have to get a little, as they say, a little wood in your spine so you can handle the challenge of moving forward because there is no going back.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into 888. Now,
The
in
eight,
numerology, the number 8 is about abundance. I
yeah.
call it the CEO number because that's the number for money. A lot of people who were born under the 8, they know how to make that money, honey. They just know. And also they are good bosses. They may not be leaders, but they're good bosses. If you have an 8 person running your organization, best believe your organization is going to make some money. If you're
Mhm.
about to start a business and you need a partner with a person that has an 8 in their number chart because they know how to find money for you. They are the CEOs of the number chart. What does your book say about the 8?
Well, eight's the number of the sign of infinity,
It is
unlimited,
unlimited.
ongoing, forever. And it
Yeah.
says the universe is abundant and generous, and you learn how to step into the shower of its ever present flow. So great financial prosperity is yours now and in the future. And it's also an angel number. It talks about infinite divine support
Yep.
with the angels being around you and lifting you. That's another number in the tarot that talks about things happening quickly. Sometimes, depending on the situation, it can be one of overwhelm. It's like always enough, more than you need. In some cases, too much more than you can handle. But it's a number that talks about you being divinely lifted, inspired, and guided in this abundance. So if you're looking at um, something like, especially if you're born with the number 8,
Mhm.
always look at your life from the standpoint of I am an abundant presence. I live in abundance. I have the energy to create abundance, but you do have to be in alignment with the divine flow because
Yeah.
spirit can't give you what you won't accept.
Exactly.
And
Now,
sometimes
the
yeah.
downfall with the 8 is this: you can have an abundance of negativity,
Hmm.
or you
Oh,
can have
yes.
an abundance of positivity. Which one and the choice is yours. The
Yes.
choice is yours. Which one you gonna take?
We always talk about having abundance. It's like, well, abundance covers everything. I
Yeah.
always try
What
to
kind
say
of abundance
abundance
do you
and
want?
prosperity because prosperity tends to indicate a financial growth and expansion. But sometimes people talk about abundance, abundance. I said, well, abundance of what? You need to be a little more specific so the universe knows which abundance you're looking for. Abundance of health, of well-being and love,
Yeah.
of opportunities, of finance. Be clear.
You have to be
Universe
so
will
clear
send you.
because if not,
It'll
the
send
universe
you
is gonna like give you what your frequency is giving off. So
exactly, and you might
if
be
your frequency is
radiating the
giving off
wrong
some type
energy.
of fear, yeah, you're gonna have an abundance of fear. If your frequency is giving off of positivity only, then you're gonna have abundance of positive things happening to you and for you. 8 is
So
that number. I love eights. I
eight,
love
eight,
my son
eight.
is an 8. Whew, child. My son is an 8. Child. He all about his money, honey. One time he sold the guitar that I had bought him, and I was like, yeah, I was so pissed off. He was like, "Mom, I made a business decision because you did buy this for me, but I also needed money and I didn't want to come to you, so I made a business decision to sell the guitar." And I was like, at first I was angry. Then I said, you know what? He's an 8. Let me just let him go.
He's
You made
seeing
that,
it from a
yeah.
business decision.
I said, as
Yeah.
long as he said, and I actually, I sold it for this amount of money. And I thought about it. I said, well, he did make way more money than what I spent on the
Oh
guitar.
my goodness.
So I
Like you
can't
said,
get
it
mad
was
at
a
him.
business decision. I profit. I made some
Yeah, he made a
profit. You
profit.
can't really knock
Yeah.
that.
I was gonna ask him for my money back, but I was like, nah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't keep it.
Yeah, that was his gift. I'm glad you didn't. That was his gift.
Yeah.
And at least he had the right mind to, if he's gonna sell it, make some money off of it.
Make some money off of it. Yeah, he has a good business mindset.
Good for
All right,
him.
y'all. Our last number, which is the last number on the charts, is 999. Now, in numerology, 9 has a few meanings. The ultimate meaning of the 9 is completion. Okay.
Yes.
But 9 is also a humanitarian number. And
Yes.
sometimes when I deal with my clients, I, usually if they have that 9 in their chart, they're always trying to help somebody to their
Yeah.
detriment. I'm like, stop being a super saver hoe and focus on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
True,
Focus
true,
on
true.
yourself because they will be a super saver hoe and try to save everybody. But it's a beautiful number because, because of that spirit, they are here to help. They're the helper bees. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
The
mhm.
9 is also I call it the fuck you number, complete shit. Like walk away from anything that doesn't have your higher good.
Yes.
Okay. Last year was the 9 number. Look
Yes.
at everything that happened last year. Okay.
And
A lot of
thank
things
God that
were
we're
completed.
out
Like
of
it
that
was sort
energy.
of writing on the wall last year with a lot of things, especially in government.
Yes.
So, what does your book say about the 9?
Says, get to work, light worker. In other words, you are here with the power, holding the light. You are the one that we've been waiting for, that is here with a specific task. The world needs your divine life purpose right now.
Yep.
Fully embark on your sacred mission without delay or hesitation, because you are the one that will help bring things to a close. I guess that's why they are such the people born with the 9 energy are always trying to help somebody, because they
Yeah.
have this sense of fixing and completing and helping people out of their
Exactly.
situations. But I tend to be an overgiver, or at least I have been in the past. I've learned my lessons now. But
Mhm.
sometimes the energy of and that's the energy of a healer as well.
Right.
And
It is.
that's where my overgiving comes from. But sometimes the number of the 9, for some people, especially if their ego is in play, it gives them the feeling of being the fixer. It's like, I know what's right for you. I know what to do for you. You just need to do what I say, and everything's going to be all right. But,
Very bossy.
but one of the things that healers and people who are fixers need to remember, and they're trying to save everybody, is you think you know what's best for somebody else, and you don't. Not always. And basically, it's because everybody comes here with a soul purpose, a soul
Yeah.
mission, and experiences their soul needs to have, which is why they're here. When we step in and decide we know what's best, or we know how to fix their lives, whatever, we may be getting in the way of their soul level experiencing, or something that they need to do when they're here. So instead of saying, I know what to do and you need to do what I say, you offer your assistance and be there to help and support. But you cannot tell somebody that you know what to do, or try to force them to do what you think is right, even to their own detriment, because you don't know what they're here to do. And the worst thing you can do is to get in the way of somebody else's soul lesson.
It's true. I
You
tell
you
people
don't
stop
want that
doing
kind of
that.
effect on you. You don't want that.
Yeah, let them complete their own karma,
Uh-huh.
whatever it is. Let them
You can
complete
be
that
there
shit.
and
Stop stepping in.
assist,
Because
and
there's
you
a
give
certain
your
thing
input,
also
but
as soul
that's
that's
it.
like destiny swapping. You can step in and have their karmic energy on you.
Well, not only that, you step in and prevent their soul from doing something that they're here to do. It could cause all kinds of ripples down the line for other people
For other
and
people, right? And
situations.
for
And
yourself.
and yourself. You just don't want to know, you don't want to step in the way. Like I said, you can assist, you give your advice, you can do whatever you can do, but you can't, try not to force anybody to do something because you think it's right. And that
Correct.
includes when it's your children. Sometimes it's very painful for a parent to watch their child go through a difficult experience, but it's what has to happen for their soul level experiencing or purpose that they have to serve. You
Mhm.
know, my son was murdered, and I wish I could have saved him. I wish I could have stepped in and found a way to shift his path so he didn't meet that bullet on that night. But that
Right.
wasn't for me to do.
Yeah.
Um, and so even sometimes as hard as it is, we must allow another soul to fulfill their purpose.
Correct. Correct. Well, thank you for joining us today. I know you have like a little powwow to do after this, sis.
Yeah,
So
we still got a couple of minutes now. You don't have to rush me off right quick, but I am doing that guided meditation on the
yes,
first
please.
Sunday
Can
of
people
every month.
can people join you tonight on that?
Yeah, it's posted on my Facebook page.
Okay. So
Where
go to our
when you
Facebook page, y'all, and look at it,
Yeah,
please.
when you post this the show tonight, you always send me a post and I always approve it and it shows up on my Facebook page. But you can go to my Facebook page, and the link, it shows a blue and white picture with a kind of like a flaming triangle on light blue background.
Mhm.
And it's our first of the month. I do a monthly um, Gaia meditation where it's about healing and clearing and connecting with spirit. And it's usually about 40 minutes, 45 minutes of meditating. And tonight I'm going to be doing one particularly focused on receiving and being in the golden liquid light of spirit, which is where we are now. All of this activity that's happening on the planet, we have a golden sun, and part of the new light that's coming to the planet is the golden light. It's spirit's energy infusing and into us and to the planet with all this deep, heavy healing energy that we are made of, that is part of, we always hear about the golden cord that connects our souls to the universe. Well,
Mhm.
right now we are in like a supercharged time where we are being just like an IV, not an IV drip, an infusion of golden liquid light. So since I didn't get to do the meditation last month,
Mhm.
everything was in such transition. Tonight, we're going to be focusing on bringing in the golden liquid light. And so I'm looking forward to it because it is very healing. It fits right in with my soul stream energy work that I do, which is how I do healing. I've been using golden liquid light for healing for myself and for my clients now for about 6 months, six,
Oh,
7 months. And it's getting stronger and stronger. It's really amazed me how well it works. But when I found out that spirit was pumping more golden liquid light into us through our chakras,
mhm.
through the sun, through all kinds of things, I was like, well, cool. This is right on time. So I invite anyone who wants to come and just experience the light. I'm going to pull it in, create the environment, hold the space for you to experience your own time with the golden liquid light.
So please, yes, y'all, go to her Facebook page, follow her. It's tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So
Eight
good time to
Eastern,
sign up.
which is 5 Pacific. And there's a link in the description. You click on that link, it takes you to the page where the Facebook Live is going, the group rather, where the
Mm,
Facebook Live is going to be held. But you can find the announcement on my profile and then just click on the link and it'll take you to the group.
perfect, perfect. So today reminded us that the universe is never silent, is always speaking, guiding, and nudging us towards alignment, healing, and purpose. Okay, synchronicities aren't accidents, they're invitations. Okay, they're
Guidance.
inviting us to slow down, to pay attention, to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. So
Mhm.
thank you again, Sister Sophia, for coming. You are our guide. And we love
Love
you.
it,
Love
love
your
it, love it.
wisdom, your light, and your clarity. Thank you so much. for
Thank
everything.
you for having me. I'm so glad that you invited me to join you on these sessions. It's been so enlightening and so much fun. And I encourage our listeners, start calling in and asking questions and bringing adding your, I'll say 3 cents, not you more than two
Yes,
cents, adding your 3 cents to the podcast, because it's much more interesting and inspiring when we can communicate with you and hear what's on your mind as well. So as we
exactly.
move forward in this year, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening, and some of it's going to be a little crazy.
Yes. And
So
we
you can
also would
always,
love for you to join in the conversation and tell and ask your questions. If
yeah,
you're seeing
because
numbers, if you're, whatever you have, ask questions so we can answer them to the best of our ability. You
exactly,
know?
because some of the stuff is going to be a little stressful, maybe even disturbing as these events unfold. We haven't
Mhm.
quite gotten to them yet. We're still under the influence of the 9 year of 2025. Stuff is kind of shaking out and finishing up and
Yeah.
completing. The spring equinox is the official beginning of the new year. So
Yeah.
come March, we're in February now. Come the latter part of February and into March is when we're going to start seeing some changes. And from what we've been told, some of these changes are going to be mind blowing. It's all I got to say. Several of my teachers
They
are saying the
are.
same thing. Going to blow your mind. So you're going to be asking questions, and we'll be here to answer
We'll
best
be
we can.
here to answer them. Yep. Well, y'all, until next time, stay open, stay aware, and stay extraordinary.
Oh yes. Oh, and by the way, if you can't be on the live, send Yolanda your questions. We can answer your question, then you can hear the answer when you watch the replay.
Exactly. Thank y'all. Have a great
Thank
night.
you. Love you all. Good night.